this is gauging the notes.
Yes.
This. You use this to gauge the notes.
Yes, I apply tension or release tension on the string with this.
Yeah. That's a simple instrument that plays some beautiful music. That's similar to the instrument I was telling you about.
It's similar, but that's in jelly. I have a couple, but I haven't.
Yeah, all right.
You know,
So you actually have this made professionally and tour with it? Or this is something you just
mine I've had for over 22 years. It's traveled with me to Japan, all through Europe.
All right. So this in the made one that you have, there's a gourd. This is the gourd. They would have a gourd at the bottom here.
Yes. No. Well, like with the diddly bow tradition in Mississippi and other parts of the South, you can use grandma's snuff tin or an old soup can. And West Africa, the children, they would use old coffee cans or whatever cans they could get to make.
Okay, so it's a can thing.
Right, but it's traced back to the origins of the ancient forms of this instrument. Use a calabash and a horsehair and wood.
That's sweet music it gets. It really gets sweet. It's like subtle. It's really subtle. All right. So we transit from the color, the pan to the calabash. Because now we was mentioning that I say if I can hold this thing and see if I can do a little thing with it. Anyway, next time for this, trust me. I'm going to sit over here for weeks to practice that. All right. You have some instruments where it don't, to the normal eye, it wouldn't look like instruments. It just look like, so we just put them that you want to decorate the table, which is not really decoration for the table. It's actually instruments where you actually can go into the market and get some instruments.
That's exactly where I went. I went to the market on Saturday. And there was a man walking down the street. I bought 6. I'm going to use these when I get back home.
As instruments?
Yeah, these are brushes. Like in jazz, we use brushes on it.
Okay. And the calabash now is something we eat out every day now. So how you play that now? Show me how you play that now to Jamaica. Make a move this back here. Yeah. Well, Sly supposed to watch this now and say, yes. Trust me. You know Sly. You know Sly.
I don't know him.
You hear about him though?
Yes, Sly.
Yeah, you have some serious drummers in Jamaica.
I know.
Desi Jones, Sly has some serious drummers. But, all right, that to me is one of the things them where you say, like you improvise in music.
Yes.
So, like in a Jamaica now, in the old time music, we used to have like grater. Like man use grater. See that him, you have a man named Lee Scratch Perry.
Yes.
Him do anything. Him take all water out a bucket and throw. And then you hear it, you wouldn't even know say something him a throw out a bucket. And him just improvise. And it's almost like a retention of African tradition.
Definitely,
where you get it from Africa.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. I want to say, as opposed to Yoruba, use Akan.
Yes.
All right, you come to Akan?
Well, my father, the late Kimati Dinizulu, went to Ghana in the mid-1960s in search of his culture and ancestors. He was born in Augusta, Georgia, and migrated to Harlem, New York City when he was a very young man. And when he was in Harlem, his grandmother, we call Amajeni, was what they call a root worker. She kept alive a lot of the herbal traditions and also spiritual traditions that were passed down and kept, like kind of like almost secretively during slavery, where she could do divination.
Okay.
So she told him when he was a young man that one day he would make a trip to a far-off land and do some things that were really great, and he would lead people there. So when he met my mother in the late 1940s, she was dancing with Asadata Dafora. Asadata Dafora, who's from Sierra Leone, was the first African to put African dance and music on the concert stage in America. He started in the 1930s through the 1950s. She worked with him in the 1950s with Esther Rolle, Mickey Newbies, Everly Collins, and a host of others.
So your father went to Ghana?
Yes, subsequently he went to Ghana in the mid-60s, and he met a lady by the name of Nana Akua Oparabia, who was an Akumfu of the Konadi Shrine, which is located in the Akwapim area of Ghana. And he was, prophecy was, it's a long story, but he was initiated into the Akan culture, and he then brought it back to America and started to train priests. And so he said he's accredited with being the founder of the Akan culture in America.
Okay, all right, we're going to come forward. Take a break, come forward. Yeah, we're talking to Kimati Dinizulu here, and we're getting into not only music, but also a part of the spirituality that defined the brethren with his musical journey. And you were saying about your father and your mother, and how they reach into and become part of that Akan.
So it's a very long story. It's probably too long to go into now. Those volumes of works have been written on this and are being written. So he went up to Ghana, and he started to bring back aspects of the culture, the Akan culture, and that's how I was introduced.
All right. So what's the difference between Akan, which I know that Akan is Ghanaian, and the Yoruba as up from Nigeria? What's the difference in those African spiritualities, you would say?
Well, there's a lot of similarities, but there are, you know, there's many ethnic, you've been to Africa, there's many different ethnic groups, even in Ghana. And the Akan even have subgroups. There's the Asante, the Fanti, the Chim, the Chimabuakwa, you know. And both groups believe in one almighty God, you know, one creator, a supreme being. And then you have, with the Akan, we pay homage to the earth, which is female. Asasiya, Mother Earth. And the ocean, which is also female, you know. Then you have a viewpoint that we as human beings are not vain, where we don't acknowledge other entities, such as trees. And certain trees have spirits in them. And certain stone and rivers have spirits. So we have people who communicate and who keep the environment balanced through making sure that we understand what the river needs, and vice versa.
The Indians, the Native Americans have a similar tradition where they talk about the respect for the trees and the animals and the stone and the rivers and things. So that's all similar. So that is part of the Akan tradition, where the feminine energy is defined in nature.
And earth, you know, you have, well, these are the Abasum, which deal with, or those are the spiritual entities that deal with the rivers and with the trees. And you have male and female. And everything you have male and female.
Of course. So when white people go to Africa and say African giving homage to like the spirit of the tree, in a film vein mind, I think say the African I get crazy, kind of talk to the tree, but it's really a respect for the life in the tree that him giving homage to, and not necessarily.
That's a part of it, and it's not just Europeans who. Some Europeans who may think that way, but there's many, you know, of our own people who think that way now because
because they're brainwashing.